Hi, everyone. It's Vaishali from the Caregena Conversations podcast. And here I am today with Dr. Ravi Pathak, PhD, who has an IT background with over 25 years of experience at Oracle and 40 years of experience in IT, and is also a founding executive director at FinFit Life. And thank you so much for being here today.
Good morning. Good morning. Yes, I'm very. Thank you. Thanks for getting me here. It's a good opportunity.
So, my first question is, can you tell us a bit about your journey and what brought you to where you are today?
Definitely. It's a long journey. But if I go to the main foundation, if you would like to call it, it's important to have a very strong, good foundation, because having a good foundation lets you build whatever you want in your dream, and make it reality. So I was very thankful and grateful that I was born in a campus which is, many people in US would call it MIT, but it is an IIT in India, IIT Madras, Chennai. My dad was in metallurgy engineering, and I was glad and happy to be born there. Um, Very grateful, wonderful family, four sisters, and I was the only son in the middle of two elder sisters and two younger sisters. So spoiled a lot, allowed a lot, and it's a beautiful family. So that was one of the foundation, part of the foundation, and a good school, being IIT being one of those academic institution which has been respected and recognized today also, had a beautiful school inside. KV IIT, Kendra Vidyalaya, and you have people from all over the country coming there, of different economical background also. And so I was glad that I was able to study there, from the very beginning, starting first standard to all the way to the 12th standard. And that journey today, in fact, I would contribute a lot of my success and what I am today to my schooling. uh, yes, it was difficult. The teachers were tough and strict, but that's what made the difference. And that's like putting the right amount of concrete into your foundation, making your pillars very strong for the future. So that was one of the very, very key point, I would say. The foundation has to be very, very strong. Family, happy family, good schooling, and Sats, Guruji says, Sri Ravi Shankar says, satsang, satsangat. Sangat is very important. Being with the people of the similar kind, that's very, very important. It guides you, gives you thoughts, and these are some things that made my journey very comfortable.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I like how you brought up satsang because I feel like it's such a powerful tool, whether in only for your personal life, but also for your professional life as well. And my next question is, was there a moment that really changed the direction of your career or life, as you mentioned, through schooling and also through your enormous amount of years in Oracle?
Yeah, definitely. So one thing that I would like to bring the point is, see, even though within the whole country, my parents were from the northern part of India, okay, Bihar, and I was born and brought up in South India. I relate myself to be a Madrasi, because I was born there in Chennai, inside this beautiful campus, which is like a forest, beautiful forest it was. Now I still was considered an outsider, an immigrant within the country. That was a challenge, because then you have to face, always you're seen with your, last name, and people relate to you're a North Indian. So, so first thing was to learn the local language and get accustomed to that language so that you communicate and belong there. become part of that culture, become part of, even today I follow all the South Indian culture and food habits, and I love my idlis and dosas and vadas even today. And I'm a more Madrasi than a North Indian. So yes, so there was challenges everywhere, and so initially I wanted to become a diplomat, IAS officer, because I got a chance to meet a few IAS officers, and they motivate. I got carried away with the what do you call not, I would say, more the respect, the glamour that they got for being an IAS officer. The lal batti, you call it, the the car with the red light, and a lot of people running behind them and all that. I got carried away with that, and I wanted to change from being an engineer to an IAS officer, and my dad was not too happy about that, being in IIT. It's like, how many people get to study in IIT, and you are there running around trying to become a diplomat. But I did. At some point, he let me do that, and I was going towards that, and then suddenly something happened different inside the campus, IIT campus, in the computer science department. They started creating some program for the kids of the faculty members of the IIT on animation. This is a very early stage, where it was not a very easy to even access a computer. And those days, the client-based computers, where you had this cards, punching cards. It's something, might be you have not seen it ever, but I do have pictures of it. I think I have some of the cards lying somewhere. So COBOL and basics was one of the subject, and using GW basic, we were able to do some animation um, along with assembly language, and that's animation is what got me. I said, oh wow, this is cool. This is something like playing videos these days, right? And those days we had this very special game, like a TikTok type of a thing, bricks, building bricks and breaking them. There are some very common games of our age that we had at that time, and we could make that using the assembly language. So a language which was very, very close to the computers, which could understand. And that changed my path again from the diplomat to computer science. And then I started the career of computer science. And that is where it brought me to various parts of the country, and also allowed me to learn several languages. Like today, I can speak in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Gujarati, several languages I can speak, because computer science was something that gave access to these areas. But again, in the corporate world also, you have the same challenge. Within the country, people see you always that, if I go to the northern part and work there, I was accepted very easily because of my last name. But when I came to the southern part, again, there was a competition within the company, because you're still an outsider, sort of, so I was struggling. It was a challenge. It was a challenge to compete, because one thing my father thought was, you do anything, be the best. It doesn't matter what you do. So I always wanted to be the top. That was something that I was interested, and that is where I was working very hard. That I was getting away from my family. I lost my smile. I started getting stressed up because I was in that race. I got into that race, that rat race, to succeed, and I beat a lot of challenges. I was excelling, so that was building my confidence, and making me go further and further and further. But I was losing something of being natural. That is where I got an opportunity to come across art of living. And those days it was Veda Vijnana Mahapit. Art of living was not very well known. And so somebody came and gave me an pamphlet which said, do you want to improve your interpersonal skills? It was more business type of a flyer, which I said, yeah, this is something that I want to look for. Instead of, if somebody told me yoga, meditation, I, I would have put that piece of paper in some cupboard, and that would be the last of it. But I was lucky. I got to it, and then I went to do the course, and that's it. I was blown off. It was so good that I was like, for once, forgot all about work, because otherwise I was a workaholic, you could call that. And then that changed my life. But what is important is that I continue to do my work, but in a different way. I started accepting people as they are, because earlier I used to think only I was the perfect guy, and I would not do mistakes. I would be the person who code the software. I would be the person doing QC. I would be the person who's designing. I mean, I was taking up, overloading myself. And that's after that course, the first course. It has different names. Today it's called Sky Breath. It was called basic course, or part one those days. And those days it was 7 days course. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I was just blown off. I said, okay, this is something that is very important in my life. That was my main change. That changed me, brought the smile back. And you know what? The whole team, the project, the whole team in the project went, did the course again to see what changed this fellow. Because I was the head, I was a project leader, I was the regional manager type of thing there. And, and they said, what changed this guy? And I started subordinating my work, the same work. But it was okay for somebody to do mistakes. It was okay to learn, and I started learning with them, you know and many things can be done in different ways. So it's not that I have to learn things and do it only a particular way. That was a change. And it also resonated with what Sri Ravi Shankar says. He wants to make it a one whole family, as completely everybody is same. So I was able to accept and extend my vision, and accommodate and become one amongst everybody. And that was one of my changing in my life, I would say.
Yeah, that's such a great story. Yeah. And I think especially as you brought up bringing making a one family as a whole, and going back to what you mentioned about satsang, I've noticed that through like even with my experiences of art of living, it's been such a wonderful and welcoming experience where as a student I am still like welcomed by people of all ages, all cultures, and even though I may not have the same experiences as them, I'm still welcomed. And I feel like the spirituality part, as well as you mentioned, the interpersonal skills, they vary so much, but they also are interconnected. And that's how one transforms, as you mentioned. And my next question is, what's one piece of advice you'd give to someone just starting out in your field?
This if this question was asked a few years ago, then I would be uh, you know candid in saying a particular sequence. But now things have changed, and it's still changing. And this is something that everybody needs to know: is, first of all, what is that you want to become? And this will change. This question is something that will change. Like, for example, I was in Oracle for 25 years. I was involved in building three organizations within Oracle in my 25 years, and all the three are successful. And even in the areas which I have never ever been, I didn't know anything about it. Like, for example, a data center. I got an opportunity to build a data center within this country. I can't mention the name of the place, but I built it from scratch. And similarly, I built a several operation group within Oracle from scratch. And that is something that gave me this opportunity to learn as I grow, build. So building processes, building teams. And I would say that I'm very, very proud to say that when I build a team, nobody would leave my team, because I used to be like a mother eagle, protecting the whole team. So in this process, there are so much that you go across challenges and grow up to the top level, and I did. But today, everything is changing, because those type of positions are not going to be there in future. And so what is the market looking for is completely different than what the kids are studying today in the schools and colleges. So first of all, there should be some change. Again, not all the profession. Some, mainly since I'm relating to IT, because that is an area that I know very well. I can say that whatever is being studied in the schools might be, it'll build a foundation, but it is not what the market needs today. The market needs something immediate, and the positions are going to change. It's not going to be, might be, you won't have VPs and program. You might have program managers, people to coordinate a workforce, but you will not have the same designations that used to be there before, and that is going to be something that needs to be looked at. And the message that I would like to say is, people have to be ready for new change, not to look back in history, because then you will get confused. It's better to see a new page, but have reference, because whatever it may be, you still need leaders, you still need mentors, you still need visionaries, you still need people who can make things happen. So you have to see what is that is currently needed today, and another 5 years or 10 years, then start planning for it, and be open to do anything to reach in your goal. Because today you might, like I'll tell you, AI, there's so many AI tools coming today. Which tool is the best? Nobody knows. But most of the startups in the AI area, lots of funding is being done. So, everything looks great, wonderful. But at some point, you'll have to see how much of these tools can be really used in our day to day life, and can be practical, and will be useful for next 5 years or 10 years. Again, by that time, things will change. But still, you have to create a path and start somewhere. So be ready to learn and unlearn, learn, unlearn, learn, unlearn. This is my what I would like to say.
That's wonderful. I totally agree. You have to learn and unlearn things, and that's especially with the growing market. And as you brought up AI, there's so many AI startups now in the Silicon Valley, and with the increase of that, there's so much more competition. So being up to date and really staying motivated to excel is one passion that people need to achieve. And my next question is, who or what has influenced your philosophy the most? And where do you see your industry headed in the next few years?
Yeah. So Sri Ravi Shankar, no doubt, he's my guru, spiritual teacher. Definitely, in my childhood, it's my parents. They were my first guru. Mother and father, they've been my great guru. They had the love, the affection, the direction they gave, and obviously my sisters played an important role too, as we grew. Then later on, uh, when I met Sri Ravi Shankar, I would say my life completely changed, and I became more flexible, more joyful, happy, and seldom anything bothers me. And even if something bothers me, it won't be for too long. It will be very short, because the knowledge then takes over. So being a student for life is very important for anybody. Okay. And so and where what do I see for my future in this IT industry? It's fun. It's going to be creative. It's going to be very challenging. It's going to be really well, dangerous also, I would like to say, because you have to know how to know what is the true and what is not true. And again, that is very very subjective, because what is true to me may not be true to somebody else. But there are tools which are can create anything, and you should know how to identify which are which is, that the real one and unreal. So ethics will play an important role. So that is, ethics is something that I want to look into, and governance. This is the two areas that in future any government or any organization, corporate, should look into these two aspects. One is ethics, and the other is governing. There should be a governing body controlling these things which are going crazy.
Definitely, and especially with the rise of AI, there's been so many ethical concerns and privacy concerns, especially as a student in Berkeley. Recently, one of our databases just got hacked with a lot of info being kind of spread around the internet. So I think, with, as you mentioned, with privacy and security concerns, people really need to stay up to date. Um, so another fun question is what's your go-to self-care ritual, or what's a quote or song that really resonates with you?
Hmm. See, Guruji also said this, in life, we spend all our life, you know, making money, okay, or wealth. So we spend all our health making that money, the wealth. Later on, we start spending all that health and wealth that we made to gain back the same health. That's the irony, So that is something that stuck into me. And that made the difference to what company that I'm working on right now is FinFit Life. Financial fitness in life. Have a balance of finance. Fitness is very important. Make wealth, but be healthy, be happy, in life. This is the mantra. That is something that stuck with me, and that is where whenever I work on anything, I try to see where is the balance, so that I don't get caught up into the race anymore. So sort of that is where my direction is.
Wonderful. And another like a quote or song that's really resonates with you after you unwind after a long day.
Yeah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That is my favorite one. Um, I, I I chant that whenever it comes by itself. I just chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and that takes me into a very pleasant space.
Wonderful. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here today, and we learned a lot. If you have any last minute comments, which you'd like to give to the audience.
I would say be happy, be healthy, and have a balance in life, and be a student in life. Be ready to learn anytime, every time, you know, so that you're aware and build your awareness. And definitely do the course of Art of Living, because that will give you a platform, a perspective, or a channel. Today, every television has a channel, so many channels, and
Yeah.
you keep switching from one channel to other.
Yeah.
Art of Living is one of the channel that you switch on to. It will teach you so much of tools that you have, so that you can handle different situations in different time in your life. Like, in Bhagavad Gita has the whole solution for lots of problem. Similarly, I have seen that in this journey of art of living has made a lot of difference in my life.
Thank you so much for being here today. And thank you for the listeners on this podcast. We hope to see you back on the Caregena podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for this platform. Yeah.